Hey all, it's Nikki, and if you like musicals, do not go anywhere. Before I start, I want to acknowledge that I am using my mic a little bit differently in this video. There was some crackling in the last video, which was driving me insane, so hopefully this will be a bit better. Test run, we'll see. So, musicals. This may or may not have already been established. I know that mostly on this channel I talk about my love of books and like writing-y related things. But fun fact, it's actually a pretty big fun fact when it comes to my personality and my likes and dislikes and such, I love me a good musical. Seriously, I love those like Disney Channel shows that are put to music like Jonas or Austin and Ally. Ugh, guys, those are my jam. If you ever need a soundtrack for like vacuuming your house or cleaning your bathrooms or doing your dishes, Austin and Ally playlist I highly recommend. And before we go any further, you know you all watched them and loved them, so I just happen to be of the mind that you are never too old to appreciate a good Disney musical, so there. I also, of course, naturally, love the classic Disney musicals like High School Musical, Teen Beach Movie, and Camp Rock, but less so Camp Rock. I do like some like Broadway or stage musicals like The Prince of Egypt. I mentioned that in one of my prior videos, but I find for me personally it's harder to find those kinds of musicals that are also clean, and that's kind of the most important part to me, so I stick with Disney. I don't know, guys, I just love a good, clean, innocent story put to good bops. But why all this talk about musicals? Well, for one, like I mentioned earlier, it's kind of a good chunk of my personality. If you want to get to know me, that's one of the things that I really, really love and enjoy doing when I'm not writing or like hanging out with my family. I love just belting show tunes. One of my pet peeves, actually maybe one of my biggest pet peeves, is when I'm listening to music with other people, but they're not singing. So I want to jam, but they're just like sitting there quietly listening, and I feel like if I sing, then I'm impeding their contemplative listening experience. It just drives me crazy. When I hear a song that I love, I want to sing it. Sorry, I just want the entire world to be singing with me. But I digress. The main reason for this sort of random but passionate video about musicals is that I recently discovered a new one that A, I totally love, and B, got me inspired and got me thinking in what I think are some pretty important ways. The movie is called A Week Away. It came out this year, I believe in March. It's on Netflix. You may have heard of it, you may have already seen it. I personally loved it. It's kind of like Camp Rock meets Teen Beach Movie meets Faith, because the whole movie takes place at a summer camp, but plot twist, it's a church camp? What? So the funny thing is, when I first stumbled across a music video from this film on YouTube, I had no idea what it was. I thought it was just a music video. So I'm watching this beautiful song. It was so powerful, totally made me cry, full out sobbing. And I was a little confused because I recognized certain people from it as actors, so it was like, what is this? Then I watched another video, which was another song from the film. It actually happens to be my favorite song from the film right now. That's when it kind of all clicked, like, wait, this is like a summer musical that's inspirational? What? And I was just overcome. I'm watching this like light, happy clip from this movie, full out crying, just thinking, where has this been all my life? This is what I've been waiting for. This is so exciting. Finally, I can't believe it. The thing is, I should make this clear before I go much further. It's actually like a solid movie. The plot is really touching and uplifting in the best ways. The actors and the characters are all very, very likable. Choreography I thought was really awesome. And very importantly, maybe one of the most important aspects, the soundtrack is a winner. And that's a lot of high points for a Christian musical, but also just a Christian movie in general. If you're not a Christian, don't worry. We will be the first to agree with you in most cases that our media is usually subpar and doesn't score that high. So I was very, very excited to discover this, and this video is not all about that particular movie, whether you liked it or not. Maybe you didn't like it as much as I did. The point is that I think that film and projects like it represent a really important idea for us creators, whether it's writers or artists or photographers or whatever you are who are coming from a faith background to remember there is a place for your gifts doing something meaningful. I know it's really easy to get to a place where you look at your passion project, your book baby, or whatever it is, and just think, what am I doing? This is completely pointless. I'm wasting my time. There's no place for this in the world. Nobody wants this. You can get to a point where you just think, maybe I'm not supposed to use this gift, and that can be true. I think it's always important to remember that God's vision for our lives, his plan for our lives, might not align exactly with what our dreams are or what our visions are. It's important to be open and willing to go wherever he leads, even if that means he wants to not use this gift, but use a different gift of yours for a different purpose that you weren't really expecting. What I will say though is this: do not ignore or shelve or snuff out or fight a gift that you feel God has given you just because you feel like there's not a place for it, because that's just not true. If God wants you using this gift, he will make a place for it. It may not be exactly what you wanted or expected or where you thought you would be using your gift, but as long as you're open to whatever adventure he is calling you to, that does not need to slow you down, and you can use the passions and the talents he's given you for something really awesome. Look at this movie, for example, or look at The Chosen, which, if you haven't heard of it, it is a groundbreaking crowd-funded TV show, probably unlike anything done before, that is absolutely free, and I will link it in the description below. Check it out. What I think about is someone had to write the scripts for those projects, someone had to do makeup and costume design, someone had to choreograph, someone played the drums in that one song, someone designed the movie poster. Those are all creative people using their gifts for something that is awesome and God-honoring right now, today, in 2021. And to me, that is just super, super exciting. So your gifts do have a place, and don't get hung up on a narrow view of what that place must be. Like writers, every fantasy story you write does not need to be an allegory. I know that I personally got hung up on that, and I'm slowly breaking through that, but you can get creative to approach the messages in creative ways. You don't have to do something that has already been done before, per se. Artists, every sculpture or sketch or painting does not need to be of King David or like Moses. Look at Thomas Kinkade, who is an artist, a famous artist, that is also called the painter of light, because in his paintings that were, I think, usually of like these really beautiful, idyllic, sort of serene settings, he would always have a light on in a window somewhere, kind of a symbol of hope and God's light and his faith. And so that was his testimony. That was how he used his gifts to point people to God and the hope that comes in God. Like, how creative is that? Because guys, at the end of the day, God is a really creative God, and that's like the understatement of the millennia, but it's true. And his vision, his plan for your life is more creative than the best story you've ever written, the best photo you've ever taken, the best cake you've ever decorated. And that's not a diss, it's supposed to be reassuring that he's got you, he's got a plan for you. And as long as you and I are open and willing to be used and to let him use whichever gift he thinks should be used, can absolutely make a difference, use the talents we've been given to do something amazing. And if that is his will, he will make a place for it. So, circling back around, if you are down for just an hour or so of some clean, uplifting, well-choreographed entertainment, whether or not you are a Christian, because I should clarify that this movie, A Week Away, is not like about faith. It's about relationship and finding where you belong and sort of coming of age and the difference that love can make in the life of someone who maybe has been without it for too long. But it just happens to take place in a context that is faith-based, so a context where a lot of the characters are coming at things from an inspirational worldview. The point being, anyone can enjoy this movie, so I highly recommend it because I loved it. And maybe you won't like it as much as I did. Maybe it's not entirely accurate. I have heard it said that that's not what church camp is like at all, but I haven't been to church camp, so that was not an issue for me. Honestly, I am just overall super pumped that this is happening, that we are seeing Christian musicals coming out this year that are quality and well written and uplifting in the right ways. So creators, script writers, choreographers, Netflix people, let's get more Christian musicals coming. Seriously, I'm ready. Bring them on. Give me all the Christian musicals. And if you happen to be making a Christian musical right now, I'm in. Like, send me the tunes, let me review it or help you or be part of it in some way. It is one of my biggest dreams to be involved in a musical. If you are making a musical that honors God, I will probably be your absolute biggest fan. So let me know. And that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed feeling my passion for this topic. Feel free to like and subscribe or share and comment below with A, your favorite musical, and B, if there are any other Christian musicals out there that I just haven't discovered yet, please let me know, because if you haven't got this already from this video, that is something I need to experience. As always, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and do not forget to spend some time in the clouds today.